Hi, I'm Andrea.
I'm Catherine.
We're Wedding Dance Houston. We're going to answer a few questions, frequently asked questions, and give you some tips about wedding dance. So, I'll start. Catherine, what makes like a client of yours really succeed? Like they come to you with a mission, they accomplish it. How do they do so?
I would say that it's all about creating the partnership together as a couple. So you can come to a lesson every single day, but I tell everybody it's when you go home and you make that 5 minutes, couple times a week to work on what you did in the last lesson, that's what really helps to make them succeed. Just that little bit of practice time. And then that way you're always building up on your dance every single lesson instead of using all the lessons just to review what you kept doing. So it's just making that time on your own, learning how to fit that into your schedule, something new, something different, a new hobby to fit in your schedule. And then at the end they walk away and they're like, thanks for making us practice. They really feel accomplished with it.
Tell me about how you create the dances. Like I know you love choreographing, and so what's your inspiration? How do you figure out what you're going to do?
I really like to meet my couple first. Usually there's a phone conversation or there's email exchanges before I meet them. And so I have something in my head usually to go with the song, but when I meet the couple, then I kind of know within the first 5 minutes what direction we're going to go with the dance, because everybody has a different kind of chemistry together, and you want the dance to flow naturally with the chemistry that they're bringing to the table. Some people really want something, they're very close and intimate with each other, and you really want to take that and give them some really neat moves and dips and stuff that really show off that kind of relationship that they have. Some people are a little more hands-off, so they might want, that's probably gonna be better to maybe do something a little more side by side with them. They might want to have their own moments, like she spins away from him or something. So it's just really learning how to see how that couple works together, and then taking what I already kind of have and then adding to it and combining stuff together that really fits them, so they walk away with a dance that's really tailored to them.
So Catherine, what's like the one thing that you have to tell everybody?
To smile and be relaxed. Doesn't matter what happens, people just want to see that you're enjoying what you're doing. So even if you mess up, you just want to show in your face that you're having fun. Even if you know you messed up your step, it's totally fine, but you want to show that you're relaxed, you're comfortable, you're having fun. It's just a fun thing with your spouse.
Cool. What are like the hottest new dances that people are doing,
For weddings, a lot of people are starting to go into a mixture of doing different styles of dances. So they want to do like a little medley of songs and maybe do something that starts out traditional with like a waltz, but then maybe end on something that might even involve like some hip hop or some Bollywood, little salsa, and just kind of combine a whole bunch of different stuff together so they get little taste of all different dances.
And what's something that I guess you have to challenge them with? Like, how do you get them to take it, beyond where they're comfortable?
I think it's the sense of telling them that it's a challenge that you're trying to learn together as a couple. It's a couple growing experience. So you're both gonna. I give both the guy and the girl different things to work on, but they have to work on them separately, but then also together to really build the partnership. So it's not about one person doing everything and the other person not. It's about learning how to do it together. When they go home and they actually do their homework and they come back, you can tell in their faces they're so proud of what they've done, and that they're ready then to like, oh, we did this, so then next lesson, let's do a lift, or let's try this thing that we really didn't think we could do because we just overcame that.
Aw, cool. And so how do you do the hands, the ballroom hands?
The ballroom hands?
Yeah. How do you do them? There's so many hands.
It's the deer. You make deer fingers. You press the middle finger down and you have deer fingers, and you soften and curve the thumbs.
Cool.
Those are Latin hands.
Right. I'm more of a swing dancer, so I just snapped hand.
Yes.
And the cute.
And the down here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like to curve the dress. you know? Like
Curve the dress.
accentuate the dress. Like if the dress is big, then maybe your arms are farther out. If it's like long, you know, give yourself like a nice long line. Or something like that. So what's rapport? Where does it come from? How do you create it? You hear it on Dancing with the Stars, like, oh, good rapport. Like you had no rapport. Like what? How do you do that? Do you know? It's a mystery. It's a mystery. Maybe it's just from the heart, you know? Like you have to really have it. Can't fake it. I figure eye contact can't be like, that's gotta be some part of it, you know?
You don't want it to look fake. You want to sell what you're doing as something that's, you know, natural and comfortable, and people can tell when you're trying too hard. You know,
So like this.
Look left slowly. Look center. Go back to left. Keep the hands down.
Okay, so you gotta let loose a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So what would you recommend, like if I wasn't sure if I should do something choreographed or just something spontaneous?
I tend to explain choreographed as some people think choreographed means that there's going to be lifts and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Choreographed is really a pattern of something, and a lot of people come in saying they don't want something that's too structured. But what I tell them is that if you have something that's structured, where you kind of know, you both know how many steps of this you're supposed to do, and then you do this specific turn, it helps both of them help each other out, so they don't feel so lost on the wedding day. So they may start out saying, we don't want choreographed, but shortly into the lesson, they see the benefit of having something where they both feel like they're on the same page, and it's not a big mystery.
I can see that. What do you think about just going on YouTube, Googling the song you're gonna dance to, and just like piecing together?
Trying to self-teach,
Yeah.
that's such a bad idea.
Why? Can't you just copy it?
Sure, you can copy it, but you're gonna miss out on all the structure that you need to have in a dance. You're missing out on exactly where the guy's hand needs to be to lead those certain steps and stuff, to understand that there needs to be a specific distance between the lead and the follow, or else you're gonna have collision. So you need to know every dance has a different hold, and so you may not understand exactly where that handhold needs to be for that specific dance, whether it's a two-step, to a swing, to something that might be more like a waltz or something ballroom. And those things you can't teach yourself how to do. You can watch every video, but you've got to have somebody there that can actually move you and get you into that position.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are kinesthetic learners too. You know, there's audio, visual, and kinesthetic. And you don't get the kinesthetic learning without an instructor present. As much as I wish that could be done through telekinesis, it's just not feasible. Like you really do need someone to pass on that connection. I think that's been developed over centuries of human traditions and innovations that have shaped these dances. And unless you're really gonna hold hands and pass it and show it exactly how it feels, you can't get the feeling from the YouTube. Not to mention, like most of the time when I see a wedding dance on YouTube, or even just like a couple like practicing in a studio to a song that one of my clients wants to use, I mean, like, I'd do it different. I'd make it cooler than that. I would make it a little bit more fresh. I'd make it flow a little more. I'd adjust the timing to like catch the beat the right way, so it's not like too
Robotic.
yeah. I do a lot to it. Like I wouldn't mind seeing a YouTube move and being like, oh yeah, look, we could do that in your dance, but like we can do it better than that.
I always tell people, go online, look at some different dances that are out there to kind of help me understand where you want to go when it comes to something that's a little more elaborate. But we're not going to recreate the dance. I don't believe in recreating dances to a T. I think everybody needs to have something a little more original to them, something special. And I think it's great to learn some different moves, but then take it to a professional and let them help you figure out how to achieve that look, because you're just, like we said, you're not going to do it on your own. don't get turned off by the fact that you think it's expensive. Also, you're gonna learn something that's not only gonna be for that wedding, but it's gonna be for the rest of your life. So you can go and anytime you hear any kind of song that fits that style, you now know moves and turns that you can use. And we're pretty flexible with trying to find a good package to start you off with too. So what made you want to start Wedding Dance Houston?
I was teaching swing dancing at the time. I've been teaching for about 5 or 6 years, and I had a couple, Elizabeth and Greg, who came to me to learn how to do their wedding dance to Fly Me to the Moon, which was a swing song. And it was just the sweetest thing. You know, it was so fun to teach a couple that was getting married. I loved the energy. I loved being a part of their romance and a part of the most special moment in their lives. And I loved choreographing. So they wanted more than like just all the cool moves. They wanted me to really put something together that would make sense with their song and have the audience in mind. You know, not that they're an audience because they're just guests. They're not people we have to perform for, but I mean, they're there. So, you know, turning to them, dipping for them, even like how you're gonna walk in and which way you're gonna stand first and where you're gonna go from there. You know, just having that kind of perspective. And then they loved it. So just knowing that I was appreciated, you know, and knowing that it was a success, just it made me really, really, really happy. And I wanted to share that with more people. So I figured if somebody was looking for a wedding dance, they'd probably Google Wedding Dance Houston. So, you know, there it began. I had a friend of mine who runs Vow to Dance in Dallas tell me, like, hey, you should do it. You know, I had shared with her the story about Elizabeth and Greg, and she was down here for a dance festival, and she had just started teaching wedding dance, which wasn't like a thing, you know, like it wasn't like a genre of dance. There wasn't a category in any of the bridal magazines or bridal websites. Like I was the one calling up the bridal extravaganza saying, hey, you know, you don't have any dance teachers, can I tap into that? Because, you know, I was looking for more students. I love teaching. I love sharing what I know. And it just seemed like this, you know, wide open chance for me to catch people who may not dance without this moment of motivation and inspiration. Here they are in love. They have to, I mean, they don't have to, but like they're probably gonna do a dance. So can I catch that moment, you know, and be a part of it and show them all these fun things that I know is gonna have such a great benefit in their lives. It's gonna bring them closer together. It's gonna make them happy and healthy. It's just a good, you know, fun, natural thing you can do together. So it's just, yeah, trying to capitalize on that moment in time where maybe a girl kind of always wished that her guy danced with her or vice versa, and it just kind of hasn't happened yet. You know, can I get into that kind of wedding market saying, you know, now's the time, like it's coming, you know, you're doing all this other stuff. Go ahead and like learn to dance. It's different because it's not flowers, so you can't just like order it up, you know? You can't pick it out. I mean, you pick the guy, you pick the gal, like you're kind of, that's what you're working with. And we have to work on it, you know? We have to really like spend that time together, that quality time, just like making it happen. Mm-hmm. So I really love it.
Good.
Yeah. So we'd love to come see you. We'd love for you to come to us. We're available for you. We look forward to meeting you and working with you and dancing together. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
All right, see you on the dance floor.